Hello everyone, Earthangel here. I wanted to come on and speak with you regarding, I've heard some interesting stories about people saying, you know what, well, you know, a family member or a friend or something like that may say to them, well, you're living in this fancy house, or, you just bought a new car, or you just bought a new house, or, you've started your business, everything is going wonderful for you. And, I wish, that for me, or I wish it were that easy. And a lot of, well, not a lot, but some of you are feeling that you have to explain what you have received to them, your beautiful blessing. And it isn't for you to, have to explain yourself. You've come a long way, right? And you have built up the momentum to receive what you have received. So then they should actually be supportive and they should be happy for you. But then there are some people who just want to see you, in that same raggedy car, or I shouldn't say raggedy, or, in an apartment instead of in a home, owning a home, when that has been your dream, your aspiration all this time. To get to this goal, right, to the next level, or to pay off your house, what a beautiful blessing that is. So instead of us taking the time to explain to someone where you've been and what you have done, and for some, if it's a family member, you might want to explain to them, how far you've come and what you have been through. Some people think that your life has been, everything's happy-go-lucky and your life has been easy. Well, let me throw an example to you, okay? And this is real right here. So, when my son's dad and I, years and years and years, too many years ago, he was in the military and we had to move. And we got to his station, and of course we couldn't live on base because he was not high enough ranking for us to live on base. So we had to live off base. So it was like, oh, okay. So I was wondering, well, how much, did you get paid, right? He had just went in. So it was totally different from the outside world, from what he was making. And he had just went in, and but we had to find an apartment. So this is a long time back, you guys, so let me explain it to you. So his paycheck was $400. And all we could find was this one place. And there was only one apartment left. And the amount was $375. We were lucky, thank God, we were blessed that we were able to get that. And we were like, oh, great, we have a roof over our head, we have a place to stay. However, we had $25 to use towards gas for him to get back and forth to the base, and for food. So I remember taking about $10 or $15 and going, okay, I can buy this many ramen and this many hot dogs. I remember that. From this lavish, if you want to call it, a lavish world of, where you had hamburgers and steaks and salads and this and that. You had full meals, right? To having to humble yourself and saying, okay, we can make it. We can do this. And sorry, you guys, I got the plane going in the background. I might close up the window some. But we had this humble beginning where we'd have, ramen. And that was like breakfast. That was like dinner. And had to keep the hot dogs for dinner. So for me, I was at home during the time, when we first got there. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? So you take the ramen and you break it in half, right? And you eat one little half of ramen, and that would be my breakfast. And the other half would be for dinner. Or if we were lucky enough, okay, we'll buy eggs, and that would be my breakfast. Things like bacon and eggs and oatmeal. That just didn't happen. I'm sorry to say, it just didn't happen. So now, as things progress, the next we were able to move into base housing. He received a decent raise, and we were able to keep some money and able to buy that TV and that couch, right? Everything happens. You start getting this, you start getting that. And then when we got back to where we live in town, then, okay, we were able to buy a house. We're able to, But some people look at it as, oh, it must be nice. But you have a job and they're working. And you had to have this job and make this amount of money in order to qualify for the house. See, everything comes in steps. It works in steps. So now you're seeing, a broader part of you where you are living a more lavish life, if that's what you want to call it. For some of you, I think it's very important, especially with the COVID-19 or anything like that, if you have family, to come together with your family. Instead of saying, you know what, I've been on my own since I was 18 years old, or, I've been on my own since I was 22. I had this lavish house. I was paying $1,600 for rent or $1,600 for my mortgage. Now I'm lucky to, receive $1,000 a month. I'm retired, or I'm this, or I'm that, or, I've been out of work and they just called us back, whatever it might be. So this is the time for a lot of communication to happen between family, and, just come in and everyone help one another. You've got 2 to 4 people in one house, but look at how much you can save. Look at how much you can all put towards the SMUD bill, or water, sewer, and food. And then look at how much you have saved. You've got so much for gas, so much for your own bills, whatever, right? Or the way you like to live, maybe you want to buy some more clothes or some shoes or whatever. Maybe it's time for you to get a new TV. But these are things that you have to become more humble about. It's okay to say, you know what, this will be fine for me. Set a goal, 6 months, a year, in 2 years, I'll be back on my feet. Or you take on a better job, or whatever it might be, you want to be looking at your life with optimism, being more positive instead of being negative. Saying, well, I'm living here and there's nothing, but yet You're saying that you have $100,000 or more. You can't rent a place? Or, find a roommate? Or rent a room for $500? Some of us have to look at being a little more resourceful and coming out of our comfort zone in order for our lives to become balanced and to come back into normalcy. Without that, I don't know how you'll be able to get yourself more grounded and balanced. So, starting to talk to different people and saying, friends or whoever, and say, you know what, can I come and stay with you for this amount of time? I know I've been on my own. I've been, been able to take care of myself all this time. But now I need a little bit of help. I'm just wondering if you, take me in. But some of you will come and say, I don't have much to give. And that's okay. And then some of you will say, I can carry, I could pay this much and I can put this much towards food. And that's okay too. And then there's some of you, maybe 4 of you can come together in a house, but only 2 of you are getting paid. But there's 4 rooms. It's important that we help one another. We make it so people are not out in the cold. And it is extremely cold outside. This is a way to start bantering or helping one another. Maybe I don't have the money right now to pay rent, but you buy food, I'll make sure that dinner is ready every night. Okay? Or, this is another thing to think about when you come together, even as union, as relationships, commitment, whatever. Work together, communicate what it is that you can do. If you have a person who's making an umpteen amount of money and they're, they have a job, then just say, you know what? I'll do this and this and this. Or I'll do this to help out. Everyone has a part to play. Everyone should be helping one another to build them up. There are people out there who are homeless and not by choice. So you can't sit there and look at everyone and think they want to be homeless. They decided to, live on the land and not live, in a home. That's not true. There are so many who have lost their home, their apartment, their mobile home, whatever. Money stopped coming in. And there are some people who say, well, there's jobs out there. Everyone's hiring. Excuse me. That might be so. Excuse me. Communication. When I'm speaking my truth, my voice just wants to go. But that might be so. That there's hiring here and there and there. And maybe you have put in an application here, there, online, wherever, and they're not communicating with you. They haven't started calling people back. Well, it's time for us all to help one another. The message I got from the universe, from God, divine source, whoever you call on, everyone help one person. Everyone help one person. And you will see the building of the communities. Helping one another is important. It's too cold out there for people to be out there. And during the summer, it's too hot. If one person helps one person, and then that person gets a leg up and they help the next person, you'll see a ripple effect of what we can do to help humanity. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Don't want to go off on a tangent. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon in the next video. Take care. Peace.